I already could tell she was going to be a trouble customer. I already could tell. Snobby.
It looked horrible.
Don't lie.
That's not what you said at all.
You put your right hand up and said you were not going to lie.
They didn't have
anyway.
it.
We heard a crash. My dogs were barking, and all I could see was a red light flashing in our field.
I got dressed, went outside and inspect the crash site. The occupants had gone.
Oh, wow.
Plaintiff Angela Woodrum claims the defendant damaged her custom $20,000 floors. She's suing for $2,744 for a refund and repair costs. Defendant, Sabrina Matthews, claims her company completed the work they were paid for, and she doesn't owe the plaintiff a dime.
Do you swear the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Good morning, Your Honor.
Good morning,
Case number 96 on the docket, Woodrum versus Matthews.
And welcome to both of you. Ms. Woodrum, you are suing Ms. Matthews for $2,744 for the refund on floor repair. Tell me about it.
I am here suing her and her company, Cleanup Carpet and Tile Care, for fraud for damaging my travertine floors.
How'd that happen?
Well, last year in August, I had went on Groupon and I had purchased tile and floor cleaning from them.
From Groupon?
From Groupon.
Okay.
They provide carpet cleaning and they provide tile cleaning and grout care. I had purchased it from them.
And how much did you pay for that?
For the Groupon, I paid $69.
Okay,
and it
just for
covers
those.
125 square feet of floor that they would be cleaning.
Okay.
Then they came out to my house and they had
The defendant came to your house, or, okay.
My technicians.
Her technicians came
Yes.
out and they had looked at the floors and they had said, no, it's going to cost a lot more to do these floors.
Okay.
So I ended up having to pay another $319. These floors are valued at $20,000. So if they aren't done professionally and correctly, it can be damaged. It was really hard for me. You can see I'm pregnant. It was really very taxing to have to move the furniture out of the way. And then they came out and they had cleaned the floors. They had used this chemical and they had stripped off all of the glossy polish.
That's not true.
And in doing so, it left them looking very dull and very just drab. And so I called them back and I said, this isn't how my floors looked before. They looked much better. And so she had sent them out again, and they charged me another $140 to put a glossy sealant on there. And they had put the glossy sealant down and looked fine for a while. And then a few weeks later, we were walking on the floors and the sealant would stick to your feet and would just peel off the floor. It looked horrible. It looked like the peelant was coming off. I had called her and told her about that, and they didn't finish it.
Because you were yelling at my technicians.
Okay,
I
now let's
wasn't
hear from you.
yelling at your
Okay.
technicians.
Yes, you
were yelling
You're
at
snobby
me.
as heck.
All right,
yes, you are.
ma'am.
So anyway, I'm sorry, Your Honor. First of all, I want to say I'm a woman, a business owner in a man industry. I was a operations manager for Stanley Steamer for 12 and a half years.
Yeah.
So I know exactly what we're doing. I train technicians and all of this stuff. So anyway, she calls me. I already could tell she was going to be a trouble customer. I already could tell, snobby. So anyway, she calls me and she asked me, hey, can you please apply a shiny sealer on my floor? I said, that's something that we don't recommend because she has a natural stone anyway. If you want a shiny tile, that's what you purchase. She has a natural stone. There is no shine. It's a dull look to it anyway.
So you told her that you don't have the shiny...
We don't do that.
And what did you say in response to that?
Can you please do it anyway?
No, I never said that. I said that my floors
Yes,
were
you did.
shiny, so why did you leave them looking dull?
So
3 to
she
5
had a
years,
problem
not a year.
with something that was, first of all, bought from Home Depot, and I called her from Home Depot and told her, hey, I can't find a shiny sealer because that's something that we don't offer, but I'm at Home Depot right now and they have it. She's like, okay, and I was like, well, I don't really recommend them. It's a really watered-based product, you know what I'm saying?
Said at all.
So then, don't lie, because I called
not
you.
what you
You
said
just
that-
told them, you put
called
your
the
right hand up
company
and said you were not going to
said
lie.
that they didn't have
Anyway.
it, and so you went to Home Depot. You said that that's
Because
professional
nobody
companies
had
have
it. That's right.
The picture she's showing is originally they are shiny.
Okay.
Okay? So apparently the travertine floor can be shiny. She wanted shiny, but you said, honestly, that's not what we do.
I don't recommend it, but
Why did you keep employing her then if what she said, her company doesn't have that material or they use a different company? Why wouldn't you say, okay, thank you, but but I better find a company that can do the floor that I want.
Yes, I had already paid them at that point. So by that time, I was asking her for my money back, and she never responded. I called, I emailed her, I contacted everybody under the sun, the board, this California licensure board. They said she didn't have
she
an
tried to
active
ruin my
business
business.
license.
Okay, but at that point, you had paid her how much?
By that point, I had paid her over $500.
So I went out there twice. She called. We were out there on 8/29. Here's the invoice.
Yeah.
We did some service for her. She called me back. She said, hey, I don't really like the way that it looks. I said, you know what? We love our customers. I was voted best of last year. So they go back out and they clean for free, which we charged her $314. So now, therefore, she's getting another free cleaning. So the guys come out and clean, and they
No,
apply
I
the
didn't get
sealer
2 free
again.
cleanings.
So then she calls me 4 months later, Your Honor, 4 months, and says that we damaged. If somebody's floor is damaged and it costs $20,000, when you call back the next day and say, hey, you guys damaged my floor. Even on my invoice right here, which is highlighted, it says, if you do not receive a first-class service experience from cleanup, carpet, and tile, because that's what I expect my customers
Yeah.
to feel, it says any claims after 7 days will not be accepted. She signed it. Bow. There's her at her.
That's it.
So then, because I'm a nice business owner and I do treat people the way that I want to be treated, I send my guys back out there again after 4 months. I'm in 4,000 customer, 4,000 in my
And
invoices.
why are you rated F on
So,
the Better Business Bureau?
Are you kidding me? I was
Why
rated
is your-
best
why are
of,
you an
I'm
F rating?
4.3.
Ma'am, speak directly to the
F
judge.
rating.
Do not speak back and forth.
I had contacted her, and she had told me all these things that weren't true. I had also contacted other professionals, and I have here a statement from one saying what she had done was she had applied the wrong sealant, and this is a
There is no
porous
wrong
stone.
sealer. A
Hang on,
sealer
ma'am.
is a
Let her
sealer.
know.
No, there are different types of sealers with different chemicals that you're not supposed to put on natural stones versus like ceramic tile.
You did sign this, which says any claims after 7 days
Will not be accepted.
will not be accepted. And you called 4 months later, the last time.
Well, they had come out a bunch of times in between those 4
So
months.
you didn't have a problem calling us any other time.
They had finished their job in September, and I had called.
We
in-
were out there February 12th,
and
2019.
I had called in January.
This was signed August 29th. So it was a bunch of months, maybe not
Thank
4.
you.
They came out then again in September. I have the receipt.
Okay.
And then again in
In
February.
September, they came out, and then again, they came out for the 3rd time,
And she got
And
free
since
Okay,
it's
let her
Ma'am,
September,
talk.
let her speak.
and then they came out again and they put the sealant on. And by that time, a sealant should last 3 to 5 years. It says that everywhere you go, it should last 3 to 5 years, not a few months.
We also moved her furniture for free for her when my guys got there. And they took care of her.
That's not true.
So my guys would never come to your house and have you
I
move
had it
furniture.
ready every time they came over.
Anyway, so my guys went out, they moved her furniture for her because I have really sweet guys. I'm serious. We love our customers. Here's reviews. They even have my technicians' names. They don't just say, oh, they did a great job. No, they're saying these guys are top notch. So I do apologize to her. I called her. I did more stuff for this lady than any company probably would ever do. But you know why? Because I treat people, I don't want her to be upset. I still don't. I'm probably going to call her, write her a letter, and apologize.
She said she's going to come out and look at the floors to see what was wrong with them.
You were
She
yelling,
never
I'm
came
not
out-
coming
no,
over to your
you yelled at
home.
me.
That's why I had my guys leave.
You
I
yelled
don't
at
pay them
me,
enough to
I-
yell and stuff. She
You
was
had yelled at
yelling.
me, and I had said, I would like you to come out calmly and see my floors. You'll understand when you see them what they look like. She never showed up. I called her. I left multiple messages.
Threatening
I
messages, Your
contacted
Honor.
the Better Business Bureau. I contacted the California Contractors Board. She doesn't have a contractor's license.
I don't need one
So now
if it's
she's-
over $4.99. Actually, they called me and told me I won that case because
I
she
have
tried to
here-
get my business license taken or something. So the commissioner called me and he wanted to make sure I had insurance and everything. And I thought, wow, really, lady? I go above and beyond for you and you're trying to ruin my business?
I want to just read over these documents for a moment, okay? Recess. The one document I was looking at originally was the one that says if there's a complaint, it has to be done in the first 7 days, and you signed it. I then thought about that because in the real world, it didn't lose, let's say it's shine in the first 7 days. It takes some time before you notice. I kind of put this aside because I'm trying to think, what would it be like? Somebody comes to the house and they fix something up and you're totally unhappy with it. On the other hand, the plaintiff made some suggestions about what to use, which you, in your profession, said these are the wrong materials. I would respond to that saying, you should, as the professional, say, sorry, it is our professional judgment that is not going to get what you want, so you need to find somebody else to do it. So the first part of your suit is for the return of the money you paid of the $519. I'm going to give you that, but I am not going to have her pay for the $2,000 and something that you now got someone else to do. So I fine for the plaintiff in the sum of $519.
Thank you, Judge. You did try very hard.
$2,000 to fix your damages.
I did not damage your floor.
You did damage my
We
floor.
clean tile every day.
They told me to put vinegar down on my floor, and then I read
Vinegar is the
not
only
to
natural
put that
cleaner,
on there.
girlfriend.
I have to pay $2,000 to have this fixed.
Oh,
And you
so
never
I do
came out.
apologize. I'm not
I
going to
have a
come out if
baby
you're
coming
yelling
in
at
3
me.
months. I don't have this kind of time to just sit there
And
and
we
keep
don't
going
either. I
back
have
and
to pay
forth.
my technicians every time they come to your house to hear you yelling and
I
screaming.
wasn't yelling and screaming.
Yes, you
at
did.
them.
That's why I hung
Please
up in your
stop saying
face.
that. Well, I'm not happy about the fact that I have to pay 4 times more now to have them fixed.
I feel bad that we're even here. I wish that it could have been fixed another way. We did try very hard. We are a very reputable company, and we did try. But I'm sorry for her as well.
Plaintiffs Lloyd and Jonna Scheuerman claim the defendant's terrible driving tore up their iron fence. They're suing for $5,000 for repairs. Defendant Aaron Rojas claims the plaintiff said that insurance would take care of everything. So he says he owes them nothing.
Do you swear the testimony you're about to give is the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? True. Case number 29 on the docket, Scheuerman versus Rojas.
Okay, and welcome to the court. The plaintiff, Mr. and Mrs. Scheuerman, you are suing the defendant, Mr. Rojas, in the amount of $5,000 for damages to your fence.
Correct.
I'm going to start with you. You tell me what the case is.
On January 13th,
Yes.
we were asleep and we heard a crash. So I looked out the window and my dogs were barking, and all I could see was a red light flashing in our field. And so I wasn't sure exactly what it was. So I woke my husband up and said, I think there's something going on by the fence.
I got dressed, went outside and inspect the crash site. There was a vehicle laying on its side.
What kind of vehicle?
It was a Malibu, white Malibu.
Oh, okay, car. Yeah.
It had laid on its side. It had taken out part of our wrought iron fence and was sitting between 2 wrought iron gates. The occupants in the vehicle had gone, and severe damage had been done. I made sure no one was in the vehicle, dialed 911, police responded. They then went and located the people, the individuals, defendants.
Who were in the car.
Who were in the car,
So I guess.
and brought them back.
Okay. Mr. Rojas?
Hello. I was going down the street. It was like dark, so I couldn't really see. So I kept going, and it was like a deer. He came out in front of me, and I tried to not to hit it.
A deer
So-
came across the road?
Yes, sir. All right, so I tried to avoid the deer, so I turned the wheel. When I turned the wheel, the car had went out of control, hit the ditch, and flipped over. I couldn't move, so tried to get out, go get some help, but couldn't walk because my knee, like my feet, they were like injured from the crash.
I saw all 3 of them come out of the car.
So when you looked outside, you saw that there were people in the car?
Exactly.
Oh, wow.
And so I saw the first 2 people popped out pretty quickly, and the
Yeah.
third one was holding his head. And when he finally got out onto the road, he was stumbling around, and finally he started moving, down the road.
Then they brought back 2 of the occupants of the vehicle and said, these are the guys that did it. This was the driver, which was Mr. Rojas,
Yes.
and one of the other occupants. I asked for proof of insurance from the officer, and he said, well, he doesn't have any. Who owns the car? And the officer said, well, he just bought the car about a month ago. At that time, Mr. Rojas responded to the officer that he would take care of all damage.
Was there any communication between you and Mr. Rojas?
Not that night, sir.
Not that night, not you okay, how you doing, everything okay?
I didn't want to talk to him.
He could have been dead.
He wasn't.
You handled it very well. I mean, honestly, wouldn't the normal reaction be, oh my God, you okay?
He was sitting back at the police car after running down the road.
Yeah.
Obviously, he was doing okay.
But the plaintiff walks up to me, he like, y'all all right? He like, you okay? You need some help? And he was like, don't worry about the gate. He like, the gate's covered. He like,
He said that?
he like, it's already been hit a week prior to that, so.
You're saying that the plaintiff came up to you and did say, you doing okay?
Yeah, it was all right.
And then he said to you, don't worry about it, this fence has been hit before?
Yes, sir, a week prior.
And he said that his insurance would take care of it?
Yes, sir.
I never spoke to the defendant that evening. I never said hello to him. He was in back of the police car.
Okay.
The man is a liar.
Were you arrested for anything? Was there a police report? You have a police report?
You'll note on that police report that it shows that his statement at the time was that he was trying to avoid a bump in the road. I believe Mr. Rojas is a consummate liar.
Okay, it does say here that you hit a bump in the road.
He like asked me something. I was just told him something right then and there just to make something up real quick.
Did you go to the hospital for anything?
No, sir.
No doctor?
No, sir.
Bad knee, bad ankle?
Yeah,
You're
but-
in a crash that rolls over several times and you don't do...
Nah, I was really glad we didn't die that night. Like, it could have been worse than
Well,
that.
sure, I understand. And here the picture's taken the next day. It is clear that your truck hit the fence and caused the damage. There's no dispute about that.
The man is a liar. He makes up these stories to fabricate and to make a reality that only exists in his mind. Okay?
Okay.
There was no damage to the fence. I never
The
spoke to
damage-
him before I called him the next day.
And the fence had not been hit prior?
No, sir.
How old are you?
19.
You don't have car insurance?
No, sir.
Are you employed?
No, sir.
The reality is that this whole thing, you are not at fault at all. And obviously, you need to get some compensation back for the damage to your fence.
Yes, Your Honor.
He doesn't have insurance. He obviously, how much are the damages to the fence? Do you have those
I have estimates here. It looks to be around $6,400.
There you are, Judge.
15-foot of wrought iron fence and two 10-foot gates.
Oh, I could see. I mean, this is totally reasonable. I'm not doubting you for a second. How do you expect to pay for this?
I was gonna get a job. I told him that I was looking for a job.
This is real life. I mean, when you get behind a vehicle that you're lucky you didn't kill anybody. I don't know why you made up the story about the deer. They're sitting at home, and someone's got to pay for this damage.
But I don't
And
think...
you were dishonest with the court. And you weren't panicked. You were dishonest. You can't go through life making up stories because you pay for it. Now, I can give a judgment. You're not going to get it from him, right?
May take years.
All right. So I find in favor of the plaintiff.
Justice has been served.
It is what it is.
I don't feel like I owed him anything. He told me that, you know, that somebody hit it prior before that, so he said his insurance will cover, so I don't feel like I owe him anything.
Thanks for watching. Now please approach the bench. The way I look at it, you have two options here. Option A, watch more Judge Jerry. Option B, watch more Jerry Springer. The choice is yours. Now get out of my courtroom. You have more clips to watch. And don't forget to subscribe.